Okay, so I've got a video here of some of the changes made by one of my students, Ian. On the left here is Ian's golf swing once we've taken a look at things during an initial assessment, and on the right is once we've made some changes to try and improve his ball flight. So on the left here, what we saw, as I say, during an initial assessment is essentially Ian was losing his shots to the right. And what we saw during his swing, the first part was very good setup, but from here the hips would move in this direction here, which resulted in the upper body moving in this direction here. So we're going to see that now as we take it back. What's called a little bit of a reverse pivot here, gets his body a little bit out of position, gets very much an open club face at the top, and a little bit of an overswing there as well. And what this means was from this position, it's hard to get an efficient transition. Ian was tending to swing left a little bit steep into the ball, but the main thing was an open club face coming into impact. This required then a little bit of manipulation to shallow out the club in order to strike it well, and also to try and get the club face where it needed to be to get the ball on target. So we're going to see coming into impact here, a little bit of excessive hand action, a little bit of a flip here with the club, trying to square the face, and Ian was just struggling to time that correctly, and as I say, losing shots to the right. So on the right hand side we made some small changes to the setup to try and prevent that reverse pivot from happening and improve the rotation. And from here what we did was we actually tried to change the angle of his left wrist, and in doing that, in changing the angle of his left wrist, was a little bit of a double whammy really. We're going to see, first of all, it helped to get the club face in more of a neutral position so it was less open, and it also helped to stop this reverse pivot. So we can see now, and the only thought here that Ian had, he wasn't actually consciously trying to stop that reverse pivot, it was just trying to create a flatter left wrist essentially, and this got him in much more of a compact, more neutral position at the top. If we can compare the two here, so look on the right there, as I say, much more compact, much less reverse pivot than what we can see on the left. So there we can see a really big difference. He's got his body and his club face in a much better position at the top of the backswing. So from here on the right, Ian was able to make a more efficient transition. He's able to get a more neutral club face and a shallower attack angle into the ball. Because of this, he didn't need to manipulate it with the hands as much through impact, and we can see here right at impact we've now got a little bit of shaft lean because he's not having to use his hands. Let me just do that again, that was very good. Here we go, because he's not having to use his hands through impact. We can see now on the left, if we compare that again right at the impact point, we can see the club head here is starting to just slightly overtake the hands. We're getting more of a flip in action, and you can see less shaft lean on the left hand side. So that's just showing there really the big effect that wrist angles can have. Having a flatter left wrist, as we saw on this right hand side, not only helped to stop that reverse pivot, but also improve his attack angle, improve his path, and improve the position of his club face, which ultimately all of that resulted in him hitting, going from a sort of push slice, so the ball starting right and going further right, to a little bit of a draw shot, so the ball starting right, curving left, and then coming back towards the target. So as I say, a really good change from an improvement in wrist angles. So hopefully you found the video useful. For more videos, tips, reviews, you can follow me on Twitter at RCGolfPro, and on my Instagram as well for daily video tips, RCGolfPro. Alright, thank you for watching.